Hello everyone and welcome back to the Guilty Pleasure Cinema, celebrating the movies you're embarrassed to love. Where a nobody scavenger finds a time-altering dagger. Wait, wasn't this a Scorpion King dagger? He teams up with a beautiful princess and has to save the kingdom and alter his fate. And maybe get the girl. All stopping an evil vizier in the adaptation Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. Now this is based on a video game. Hey, we're doing that again. Except it's not like Hitman. This thing is great. It's based on the Prince of Persia series. Specifically, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. This was an astonishingly good game. I beat this game and perfected it and got everything that I wanted to do in it, and yet I refused to trade it in like I did all my GameCube games. And you know why? Because it's a perfect game and amazing, and I thought I'd play it again. And I haven't. It's been 10 years, but I love owning it. It's so freaking good. You know why? There's a mechanic that with the dagger, The Sands of Time. The prince is telling the story. Now, spoiler, it's after the events of the game. So you know the prince lives. Here's what they do. He's got the dagger, and he's able to rewind time. It's a platformer. He's running and jumping. Look, wall run. He's doing all that, and he's running along the walls, and he uses the dagger if he screws up, and rewinds, and you can try to jump at different point, different time, different spot. You can affect combat with it as well. It's great. It's awesome. It's a neat little thing. And the cool little bit is that the prince is doing it. And if you screw up and fall because you don't have unlimited, sometimes you goof up and oops. What happens is the prince goes, no, that's not how it went. Let's try that again. It went like this. And you're back and you get to try it again. That's awesome. That's a brilliant little thing with this game. And, I mean, sure, there's a GameCube game. It's a little old. Doesn't look all that great. But this thing is awesome. So is this. Why doesn't anybody know that? This Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, you knew it was going to end. You knew how it went. You knew where everything was going because the prince lived and goes after the girl. This Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, should have kind of had the same thing, but the audience might not have been familiar. This was going for a more broad approach of let's get the audience involved and on board. This one, well, it was done in such a charming, awesome way that you're invested in the journey 100%, even though you know the end. You don't know how, but you're on board. Most American movies, literally, are about good guy, bad guy conflict, overcomes the odds, gets the girl, happy ending, the end, teaser stinger. You're just there for the journey. You're on board for it. And Disney agreed. Yeah, Disney. In the spirit of Pirates of the Caribbean. This was their new Pirates franchise. Right? No. Maybe we should use the dagger to fix time. Or the gauntlet. So you know what happened? It John Cartered. It battleshipped. It somehow was exactly what it wanted to be, what it should be, and what should have worked. And yet people just didn't care. It was derivative. It looked like everything people had already seen. And it's not. It's not. But it seems it. People have seen Scorpion King. This is like Scorpion King. It's not like Scorpion King. But Lois Sand and Persia type, Middle East, action-adventure in old times with some magic, low fantasy. I've described both movies. I've described a lot of fantasy type like this movies. This brand should have helped, and yet these weren't exactly huge sellers. Very successful sellers, yes. It's damn tragic that people just saw this as some other thing. And it's weird because they probably thought The Sands of Time, oh, this is some kind of franchise thing. I don't care. And yet Pirates debuted like that. And all the franchises now are all about being a franchise. And you know going in it's a franchise. So why didn't this work as a franchise? Why didn't this work as a franchise? Why didn't this work as a franchise? The games did. You want to know how much this failed? Cost $200 million. $200 million. $30 million for its debut. $90 million overall. You can tell why it was abandoned quickly. Either the video game stigma or the wannabe franchise or whatever it was. People just didn't care. It is a big, big epic adventure. Gyllenhaal's amazing in this. He's a little out of his comfort zone, but that kind of works. Garterton was the princess. She went on to awesome things from here. And Ben Kingsley as Evil Vizier is Ben Kingsley as an Evil Vizier. Do I need to tell you any more than that? It has a great style and tone and look and effects. Everything was there. It captured the feel of the game, the feel of these kinds of movies. Was it derivative of prior types of this? Yeah, in the sense that it also did it too. But we liked those ones. Therefore, that's good, right? Just like the game, it has style and substance. But not success. And it's tragic. I love this movie. Watch this movie. Watch this movie. Disney wouldn't give up, though. They wanted their boy franchise, and John Carter failed them as well, but really, I mean, they bought Marvel, so they're fine. But why wasn't this a franchise? You shouldn't feel guilty about it if it's a movie you love.